Now we would see the tools panel. So this is our tools panel. It has got many various tools. So let me quickly create a sequence, a new sequence. I would prefer shortcut Control N for new sequence, and I would say HDV 20p30, and I would rename this sequence name to tools panel. I go to settings, stuff the this thing being okay, and I would quickly select OK, and then I would like to insert one more video. I would do Control I, and I would give the location and say, for example, I would like to have this video. I would double click here and I would select, come to a timing where I want on my source monitor. I would press I, say for suppose from here till here. Yeah, I want this and I only want the audio. I only want the video. So I would drag it over here. The clip doesn't match the sequence settings. Change the sequence setting to match the clip settings. Now what is this? This is a clip mismatch warning, which means our clip is not according to the settings of our timeline. I will select here cancel and I would go here. As you can see, our tools panel, this sequence is of 29.97 fps and our video footage is of 23.976 fps. So I would delete this from here as of now. And what if I want this video footage to be of my timeline? So what I would do is I would go here and I would right click here and I would say interpret footage, modify interpret footage, and as right now the selected frame rate is use frame rate from file 23.976. As I do not want this, I would say assume this frame rate and I would put this as my same sequence settings 29.797 fps. The rest remains the same and I would say okay. So now if you see here from 23 it has changed to 29.97 fps. Now if I drag the selected video from my source monitor to timeline, it again says change sequence to match the clip settings. We would click on existing, keep existing settings. This is because of the reason if you right click here and if you see its properties, the image size is of 854 into 540. But the image size means the video footage size of this snail video is of 854 into 480. But if you see our tools panel, right click here and if I say properties, it is tools panel 1280 into 720. So this is one more reason where our video footage is not matching with our timeline. So what we need to do here is, in order to make this, if you see here a black space is also there, as our video footage is less than our sequence settings. So what you can do is you can right click here and say scale to frame size. You can see this option, scale to frame size, click here. So now what it does is it captures the entire sequence, that is 1280 720. Please note it does not scales distortedly, it scales proportionately. And as our ratio was 16:9 and our video footage, video source footage was also into 16:9 with 1.0 square pixels. So it has not been distorted, it is just that it has scaled to according, it has scaled frame its video frame size according to our sequence setting. And now I would again go to this, our first one, the first video footage. Let me go to this. Yeah, this one looks fine. I suppose I want this kind of this tree thing. I would want this from here. I would quickly press I on the source monitor. Till here, and I would press O and I would say drag video only and take this to my timeline. So right now, if you see, our entire timeline is of, I would reduce this down to 24 by dragging it from the left, and I would press O here. So this is basically the range of my timeline. This is I, which means the endpoint, and this is the outpoint. So right now my timeline is of 24 seconds. Okay.